Don't think of banding together to evict the believers from your territory, so that there will be more unbelievers so you can seize the area for yourselves. Because that will not work either. Because all that will do is get the cities you have seized blockaded, until all the people that believe are allowed back and you leave. If you will not leave, then I will order that you allow the rest of the believers to leave, so I can shut you off until all of you die of famine. If you won't do either, then we will storm the city. If you are in an area that unbelievers are putting up a resistance, you are not to engage them until we arrive with our forces. Unbelievers, I am holding you responsible for any loss caused to God's people. If I were you, I would make sure that the children of God do not suffer in any way. If I hear news that some of our people are being oppressed, I will have no choice but to destroy you. Any cities that are under serious threat of attack from our enemies are to be fortified, and we will pick the best men we have to destroy anyone that tries. I am surrounded, and everyone has gathered together to come against me and God's holy city. They have already started their assault, but I am not afraid. I will still cross over because God is on my side, and He has already promised me that they will all be delivered into my hands. Let the battle begin. All of us are to cross over and battle against God's enemies. With all of us assembled as one, His enemies will not offer any resistance. The temple of false religions is being burnt down, and with everyone in it who refuses to be a true believer, in the lake of fire it will burn forever. If you are crossing an area, you are to try and bypass any hostile cities, if possible. But if you can't avoid it because the highway goes through the middle of it, then you are to proceed with caution. If the people of that city refuse to let you pass through, I will send my forces, and we will kill every man alive, so they will never again stop a single soul from crossing to the promised land. They will become like Babylon, who also refused to allow us to pass through and tried to block our way. Everyone must stick together so no one is left behind. We can do this if we work together as one. And when you are climbing Mount Zion with joy and gladness in your heart for escaping the flames of hell, you will only have God to thank for your safe and sound journey to His kingdom, which is the glory He wants from every single person. You will have nothing to fear if everyone at the same time will stop what they are doing and will rally together with me on our march to the promised land. We are going to march to the promised land, and I promise you no one will be able to stop us. And if they do try, they will lose their lives. Either way, we are going to march. It is up to them. It is over their physically dead bodies or just their spiritually dead ones. El Paso, where we pass through from the old to the new world. You have our message. Do not refuse to let us pass through. Do you really think you can write a better message than God can that will cause people to barricade the gates of Babylon so no one will want to leave and not want to go to God's holy city? God has entrusted the deliverance to me as high priest. Do not think you can do it yourself without listening to me, because you are going to do more harm than good, and you will probably lose your life. That is why God hasn't allowed it to happen for 2,000 years, because it takes a certain breed of man for the world to listen to him. And that person is Jesus Christ, the divine Son of God. Any priest that tries to come against me is doing a foolish thing. It will just show that you do not understand God's word well enough to be a priest, and will be counted among the fallen men. Priests that try to resist me are ignorant, and will only prove that they do not really honor God of heaven, and therefore will have the altars of their churches overturned, because they have defiled it by preaching a message that could only come from the God of hell. We will also pillage the treasury of their church, so they are unable to support their falseness anymore. You have been forewarned that what will happen to you if I hear you preaching something against the coming of God's kingdom. You are going to feel pretty bad as a priest being sent back to Babylon, just because you've refused to have enough faith to believe. If it turns out that the majority of the priests do not believe me, and even come out in force against me, the grief will be unbearable. It will mean that the things aren't going as planned, and that realization is enough to kill me. My anxiety is that even though I have done everything I can to be generous and well-loved, I haven't been able to convince anyone that I have awakened, and that I see the truth. It will mean that everything I have done has been for no reason at all, and the thought of that will cause me such distress that it will engulf me like a flood. All I've tried to do is be your friend, and you consider me an abomination, is enough to so profoundly shake me that I might just put up a high wall around my heart so that you can't hurt me again. Because when you hurt me, you are also hurting God, because my heart is His sanctuary. He does dwell in me whether you believe me or not. You are supposed to be a priest. You should be amazed at the news of what God is doing. You should not be trying to flee from His presence. It's not like I have treated you wrongly. I have not tried to take away any of your holy things, or treated you or threatened to exterminate you. I don't want your money. All I want is for you to accept me and give me a friendly reception. Is that asking too much? Have I been walking in this desert? Haven't I been walking in this desert long enough by myself? When are you going to let me come to you? What I also wonder about is what is going to happen to you if you forsake me. Does God bring a curse of destruction against you? Or is He going to just let the deceived of the world come against you, so their fate can be the same as theirs? Either way, God is going to break your unholy arm, and you're the one who is going to end up with crud on your face if you do not show me respect and listen to me.